Hello, you're watching Sideline on MNB WORLD, an interview program that invites various guests for a conversation on important theme. And today in our studio we have Executive Director of Mongolia Fintech Group, Mr. Naranbat Battulog. Meet Naranbat Battulog, the Chief Executive Officer of Mongolian Fintech Group. Naranbat's educational background is rooted in finance, having obtained a finance degree from the National University of Mongolia in 2000. Followed by a postgraduate degree in economics from the Development Economics Institute in Japan. His commitment to learning continued with his completion of the Senior Executive Leadership Program at Harvard Business School in the USA in 2022. Naranbat's professional journey encompasses a range of roles. He currently leads Mongolian Fintech Group as CEO, a position he assumed in 2021. His career includes earlier roles such as significant positions at the State Bank from 2012 to 2016, where he held roles including Deputy Chief Executive Officer and Chief Financial Officer and General Director. Naranbat also contributed to the Ministry of Finance as specialist from 2008 to 2012. Hello.
Hello, hi.
Thank you for accepting our invitation.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Let's start our interview talking about the financial technology sector. And it's really interesting to know you have been working in the financial sector for a long period. And how did you enter into this emerging new market?
Yeah, thank you. So, yeah, it's true. So I've been working in the financial sector almost like 10 years. And lately, I was as a CEO at the State Bank of Mongolia, so in charge of international payment, SWIFT, international card acceptance, Visa, Master, JCB. But during the time, I was taught, it's Mongolian, the financial system, especially the banking system, is enough to develop already. But when I research in the international country, there is a different type of the system which we needed. Especially, for example, it's a payment gateway. So in other countries, developed countries, US, European countries, and other countries, there's like a different type of the service, like third-party service running the payment gateway. In US, like Stripe, PayPal. In China, Wechat, Alipay. What we didn't have that since 2017. And that's why we've started the fintech business, and that's why we invited the international software company to Mongolia, and this is how we started.
When we talk about the financial technology sector, it is comparatively new sector in the financial market. And if you compare the traditional financial services with the fintech technology, what kind of opportunities does it bring?
Yeah, Mongolia, we are a small population, but we are the landscape big country, living almost like half population live in Namad and the center of the province. So that's why, all of the SOMS coverage in only Mongolian two financial the institution, which is Han Bank and State Bank, but they only provide the banking service. But we need to provide insurance service, we need to provide stock brokerage service, and lots of service we have to provide to all Mongolians. And so the prepared infrastructure of most of Mongolians already have the 4G and the 5G, the mobile, and also most of people already the bank, but which allowing to provide other service, and the fintech companies we're doing the focusing the rest of other banking service, finance service to the people who live in the distance from the capital city. Yeah.
For the last couple of years, many business sectors have suffered from the COVID-19 and related restrictions and lockdowns. And it's really interesting to know how, for example, in Mongolia, fintech services, for example, your company, your business has survived during that period of time.
Yeah. The pandemic, the lockdown, which the giving lots of damage and also lots of opportunity to giving to the most of it was, we learned all of the world, the people they learned, especially our company. So we started learning how we working from home, like online working remotely. And also specifically for the digital IT companies, which giving the good opportunity for us. And people also learned how they are using the fintech service. For example, during the lockdown, they ordered the e-commerce things, goods through the mobile applications. And that's mostly helped the many Mongolians started to learning and more familiar usage for their lifestyle. Before COVID, comparing for the pandemic, before COVID, people doing the normally, because many of the Mongolians, like, they thinking they doing very well because like most of them using the banking application. They just paid, everything paid, they physically visiting shops, just paid. They thought which is they well using like fintech things, but fintech is different. Fintech is using, ordering, like shorting, they like shopping, like many of the things. It's giving and shortening and saving their time, and also it's I mean, like the product which is like ordering online must be cheaper than the physical ones. And like the many of startups and the fintech companies already established before COVID, like 2015, 2016, but it's very difficult to like a service providing to them, because people, they thinking that it's the normal life. But during the pandemic, which helped for like many Mongolians started to learning and using mobile application through the fintech things.
It means like during the pandemic and lockdown, the number of consumers of financial technology services has grown, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And for example, on your company example, like how many, for example, do you have consumers that use your company services?
Yeah, you know, just actually we were very lucky, and because our main application of which called MNB WORLD, and we launched our application the November of 2021, which is exactly the date of just 9 days before Mongolia started lockdown. And during the COVID, we got a tremendous number of growth. Right now we have 600,000 the download application registered, and also 150,000 active customers, which is a very good number for a startup and fintech company.
That's really interesting to know. And as a person who currently works actively in this sector, if you look at the government policy or economic environment, is it friendly in Mongolia for the fintech businesses? And is there any challenges that you face?
You know, actually, right now, like 20, 30, 40 fintech company are running doing business in Mongolia, and which started since 2018 because of Mongolian parliament approved the law of national payment system law during the May of 2017, and which allowing and the company and fintech companies having the license of payment license from the Central Bank of Mongolia. Before that law, only banks having the license. That's the legal and the law environment providing, giving us the opportunity to having license and running the business. And since that law, Mongolia, the fintech business, the many of startup business now launching the service, competing each other. For the competition of the result of the competition, it's the service which provide and competing many the service, and also it's like cost of the financial service right now is decreasing very good number, like we could say like the loan, microfinance loan interest rate. Before that competition, like roughly like 4% per month. Right now it's like 2.5. It's a very good number. So
it means like the government is supporting creating the friendly environment for fintech businesses, right?
Yes, absolutely. And also there is some company having like permission from the sandboxing committee. So central bank, financial regulatory committee, they created the sandboxing committee, which is right now I think like 5-6 companies already got the kind of permission from that sandboxing, which is also very nice to like helping us to, I mean, like not organize it, not legalize it business, which helpful for efficient for people, and they giving us okay, you guys do this, test this for 1 month, 1 year period like this.
I see. When we talk about the online payment systems, the main issue the consumers are worried about is like the data protection, cybersecurity. In terms of cybersecurity, what kind of cybersecurity measures do you take, and how do you protect the data information of your consumers?
Yeah, good question. So it's very critical things, of course. Privacy, data protection, that data, like including the payment things, the people's money, I mean. And we have a PCI DSS standard licensed company, which is a abbreviation word of a payment data security industrial protocol. And mostly, you know, like when we storing your payment card, the data information. Like when you put our card in like Uber, they're saving, in Amazon, when you put number, they're saving. That's the things we call the tokenization. And we are the company Alipay, the last 4 years, the licensed international audit. And we could say, as information is my information, like Mongolian, the biggest 5 bank only got the PCI DSS audit. And we have the 6th company having that license. And the Singaporean company called Rock PT, they came to Mongolia every year and audited us. They checked everything, and we have a very good infrastructure. We have our own data center in our office, and which are directly connected to the central bank through the fiber optic, and also to the Mongolian Stock Exchange. And I mean, international is the biggest standard of that payment thing of PCI DSS. We got that the license, and we tested every year, and we got the 4 year already got the license, and right now this November those guys coming us the test again. That means like we are the fully like following and qualifying international standard.
We have just talked about the international standards, and I really want to know about the international cooperation of your company. Is there any foreign partnership is planned in the near future?
Yeah, we have many foreign partners already, and we have foreign investors. And because of, you know, there is a financial systems standard, software, core system, like IT people's quality, capacity, and also, as I said before, and the PCI as a standard. If we qualified as the standard, we could partner with other countries, other payment institutions, no matter what, who we are, no matter what, where we are live, and because of the standard. And especially the payment thing, financial things, it's very high standard because of the compliance, because of the anti-money laundering, because of the customer verification, KYC things. And we qualified those standards, and that's why we're partnering many of international payment institutions like WeChat, Alipay, the many of money transfer companies we're currently partnering.
You have just mentioned WeChat and Alipay. Maybe you could share with our viewers, why did you choose exactly those 2 big Chinese brands to partner with?
You know, of course, we are the neighboring country with China, and China is our biggest trading partner. And as a statistic, regard the statistical number, and before COVID, in 2019 and 18, like half of population of Mongolia went to travel to China. 1.8, 1.7 million people that travel, visit to China. And China has right now the most digitalized the payment usage of the country in the world. You know, like since the lockdown closed, since the Mongolian-China border opened, many Mongols start to visiting to China. But those of the people, Mongolians, they're facing difficulty of the payment things because like we bring the cash RMB, we bring the payment card, but they're not allowing commonly, almost not accepting cash, almost
only using
WeChat and Alipay. And so one step of which we developed at our current stage is we connected with WeChat and Alipay, which means not Alipay is not only working in Mongolia. Mongolian wallet, which Mongolian IT people, financial people, our company created, which working internationally. That's the next step. That's how we right now working on this.
And from the other side, there is like a lot of Chinese tourists coming to Mongolia, and it will facilitate them.
Yes, exactly.
If they use their own cards and payment systems, right?
Yes, right. So being the payment member of the WeChat is very difficult, and because of we are the WeChat partner, and we've started to providing to merchant of the WeChat the payment receiving account to Mongolians. For example, if you are selling things, the goods, when the Chinese tourists come to your shop, and you can easily receive your payment through it, they familiar way of the WeChat payment, and we could transfer your payment to your Mongolian bank account. Yeah, that's how we providing the service. Since the January, firstly we provided to the Zamud area, restaurant, shops, hotels, and after then we provided that WeChat acceptance service to CU convenience store, GS25 convenience stores, hotels, like tourist attraction, the centers. We already launched out the service.
In other words, all the locations that can be visited by tourists.
Yes, yes, I mean. Yeah.
And our next question is like, you're working in the financial sector, and how do you stay in trend of the latest financial solutions?
Yeah, it's like I said, like before our goal was in Mongolia, we could provide the Mongolians as possible as the high usage of the financial service. Right now, we one step higher of the cross-bordering to the another country, and which is they accepting us, and which means Mongolians can visit everywhere, and very convenient and user-friendly way of they paying and they visiting travel, and yeah, trend is as possible as user-friendly, and also as possible as like commission rate, the cost is must be the lower, and which is how in the world financial systems competing each other. Like there is like card system which is very costly for the merchant, but in China they're providing Alipay and WeChat, which is very convenient and very low cost for the merchant, and this is the how world right now competing each other, and also like they put like AI things, they put like like face recognition. It's developing very high speed right now. Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming to our program and sharing with us about your company activities and the latest fintech trends.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Well, that was the new episode of Sideline. Today in our studio we had Executive Director of Mongolia Fintech Group, Mr. Narambat Patolak. We'll see you next time with more stories and updates. Have a nice evening. Goodbye.